Hello, and welcome back to another episode of La Frecuencia podcast, brought to you in part by El Licuado de Muerte. Actually, a licuado is like a milkshake or a smoothie or something like blended up. So this would technically be El Líquido de Muerte, liquid death. I think we talked about this on the last episode, but I still got the ahas in here. We still got the aha sponsorship, but I saw these at Ralph's when I was doing my grocerías shopping. my grocery shopping. Not me trying to be white and just add an A to any American word, to any English word, and then think it's Spanish. Instead of groceries, groserías. But that actually in Spanish means cuss words, like fuck. I'm sorry. I didn't have to demonstrate or give an example. But we got the Líquido Death on deck. I saw it at Ralph's, bro. A 12-pack of Mango Chainsaw. A 12-pack of the Liquid Death. Sorry if that scared you, Negrito. But anyways, that's not the point of this, bro. I'm sipping on something different, but it's same, but different. Same, but different. So we got the Liquid Death. As always, I'm your Floral Father. This is my co-host, Negrito Baby. Say what's up. Mwah. The fans love you. He's the face of this podcast. He is the mascot of this podcast, and we love him a lot. So, as always, we got Negrito Baby. And man, I'm excited. A little tired, I'm not going to lie, bro. All I've been doing now is working and sleeping. One of my homies texted me. He's like, hey, how's Horror Nights going? And I was like, I'm just working and sleeping, bro. If I'm not working, I'm sleeping. If I'm not sleeping, I'm working. It's that simple. I'm still trying to, it's only the second week, so I'm still trying to figure out how to manage a lot of my time. But it is very tiring, man. And it's funny because the first week of HHN, this shoulder, out of service. But this week of HHN, this shoulder, out of service. They swapped spots, bro. They just did a switcheroo, and they switched up on me. And so now this one, I can barely lift it, bro. This needs the WD-40. This needs all the fucking physical therapy that I can find. I'm just doing little stretches and shit. And it's funny because I stretch before I go out on set, but I just be going too hard, bro. I put my heart and soul into scaring y'all, man. Because that's how it should be. We scare because we care. We scare because we care at Monsters Incorporated. That's a little quote from Monsters, Inc., but that's really how I feel being a scare actor, bro. I put my whole Estabussy into my performance, bro. I'm doing this shit for, I was about to say his name, but I still can't tell you. I'm doing this shit for the artist that sings a song, never need a bitch, I'm what a bitch need. This last week was super cool on Sunday, bro. My primos came in from Mexico, all the way from TJ, man, and they brought some of their friends, and they were just in the park, and I was like, bro, I was so hyped, because not only did I get to see them, I don't see them that often, because like I said, they live in Mexico, but they came through, and my supervisors are cool as hell, bro. They love me. They love my whole cast, bro. My supervisors are really just some stand-up dudes, both of them, and so they can pull a couple strings for me. If I ask nicely, they can pull a couple strings, and it's like I scratch my back, you scratch, I scratch. Who's scratching who? You scratch my back, I scratch yours, you know? I'm in there killing it, and I'm in there trying my best and really just grinding out for the maze. So they like to give back to their cast and their scare actors. And so they were able to get my two primos and their whole group of friends right through the express line. No line, bro, which is good because I mentioned this to my cousins. On Saturday of last week, we had a 3-hour wait to get through this house, bro. That's insane. That's a small road trip right there. 3 hours, that's a road trip. You could do a lot in 3 hours. And some motherfuckers were waiting in line to get through this house. And I said, I'm not going to do that for my primos. So I got them to the front of the express line, walked them through the house. I was able to walk with them, which was amazing. And that was super cool, man. It's perks like that of the job that I really enjoy working there. And obviously seeing my cousins, I got so much love for them. I also enjoy doing that. That was kind of off topic. That had nothing to do with anything. But Perks of the job, man. And shout out to my supervisors, both of them. I always let them know. I'm always so thankful and so grateful for them. But they really do be looking out for your boy and be looking out for my whole cast. So I feel blessed in that aspect. But besides work, man, I've been tired. I've just been sleeping a lot. I already mentioned that. And on one of these days that I was just chilling, my padre, my crazy ass but cool as fuck padre hits me up. And my dad likes to send me, now that he knows what Instagram is and he's found out how to use it, he sends me a lot of reels and he'll be like, check out this demonio. Look at this chamuco. And it's always, my dad right now is on, for a while, he really liked the Dancing Trucker. There's this account called the Dancing Trucker, and it's this fucking trucker who just dances. It's in the name. It's a given. But lately, he's been sending me this changuito. It's this monkey that wears a diaper that just wreaks havoc on this dude's house. He messes with the animals that they have. He's always messing with their cats and their dogs. But he's also like swinging around like Tarzan swinging through the curtains, by the curtains in the living room and shit. And he's just causing a havoc. And they record it all and they throw it on Instagram. And that's really all it takes to be a fucking influencer nowadays, is to have a crazy, lively, funny animal. And I got Negrito. Negrito, you're going to make me a star. Well, first of all, you're going to be a star, but you're going to make me rich. You're going to make me a successful, influencer page on social media. But you're going to have to look a little more alive than this, Negrito, because this is just cute. But there's 1,000,001 cute cats. But I think you got what it takes. I think you got what it takes because you're a star. But anyways, my dad usually sends me content like that. He sends me monkeys and cats and a bunch of funny stuff like that. But every now and then, he'll send me some, like, post from, like, a entrepreneurial page or, like, a self-help, self-improvement page. And I don't follow too many accounts like this because I think a lot of the accounts like this can be kind of cringe. They come across kind of cheesy, kind of corny. They'll post, like, a picture of, like, a Ferrari and some dude in a suit getting out of it, like, checking his Rolex. And it'll be like, if you're not working hard, someone else is, will be like the quote. Or it'll be like, work hard, be yourself. I can rest when I'm dead. And it'll show some dude like in a private jet, in the cockpit of a private jet. And he's like looking out the window as he's drinking champagne, you know? It'll be like these super memey kind of cringy content. But there are some accounts out there that have some good stuff. As always, in any niche or category or genre of something, there's going to be a lot of cringe of it. There's going to be a lot of trash of it. But then there are going to be some standout players and some standout content and standout things in that niche. And so my dad sent me one. Who was it by? Entrepreneurship Quotes is what this account is called. I guess they have a Twitter account and an Instagram account. And I've never really looked too much into them. They got 2 million followers. Goddamn. 2 million followers. A lot of just like kind of memey, kind of engaging content. You know, like 8 must-have attitudes to be successful, or like 7 things to do in your 20s, or 7 things to become a millionaire, whatever. They have a lot of content like that. But my dad sent me one, which was from their Twitter, and then they just took photos of it and transferred it to their Instagram. And it's a thread. And it goes, if you are in your 20s or 30s, read these 27 sentences to put yourself ahead of 97% of people your age. And this is another reason I'm not too big on these accounts, because obviously they need to get engagement. So they're saying, if you read these 27 sentences, you'll put yourself ahead of 97% of people your age. And I don't agree with this. I agree with almost everything I'm about to read off to you guys, because it did resonate to me. And my dad said, just, you know, some inspiration for your podcast. And I read it and I was like, this is amazing stuff. I want to share this with people. But the tagline of just reading this and it'll put you 100 ahead of 97% of people, I don't agree with. I think implementing these things into your life will absolutely put you ahead of 97% of people. But just reading something is not going to get you there. I think reading content is planting the seed, but then taking action on the content that you've read, whether it's a book or whether it's something like this, is where you see the growth, is where you see yourself start to actually implement a change, start to get better than you were the day before, and eventually become 97% better than the people your age, which I do agree with that. But I don't agree just reading it is going to get you there. You have to take action. And so this is kind of like I guess we can call this the 27 entrepreneurship commandments. 27 commandments to become an entrepreneur. I like that. But like I said, I'm reading this because I went through it and I resonated with a lot of it. And you guys know that I don't just like to read you stuff and be like, go do it. I like to read some shit or call something out, kind of like with the Friskies and the cat, and give you personal examples in my life where that has happened, or personal examples where I can myself implement this, because there's a lot of stuff in here that I still have to work on. I in no means am perfect. I in no means, by no means, am an entrepreneur, but I'm really big into this self-improvement shit. And I think a lot of this stuff is right up the alley. And a lot of this stuff is stuff you've heard me already talk about in this podcast. But let's start with number one right here. Ideas mean nothing. Execution is the only thing that matters. It's not what you thought about doing. It's about what you did. That's number one. And that kind of just goes like off what I just said. Reading it means nothing. Implementing it is where you really show that you about that life, that you got it like that. Implementing it is where you really say, fuck it, we ball. But ideas mean nothing. Execution is the only thing that matters. I have told you guys a million times, I've mentioned it on this podcast, that I've had this whole studio and the whole idea of starting a podcast since August of last year, man. And I didn't actually get this podcast up and running, even though I had everything I needed, until February of this year, 2022. So I was sitting on the idea of starting a podcast for almost a year. And looking back now, I'm not upset because I eventually did start the podcast. But that's time that I'm never going to get back. That's a year that I could have had this podcast going. And instead of having, I don't know what this is, like 23 or 24 episodes, I could have already had 40 to 50 episodes. I could have had a bigger following. I could have had the consistency in play for much longer. The idea was there, but nothing happened until I executed on the idea. So if there's something that you are thinking about, stop thinking about it and do it. Because thinking about something is only going to hold you back further. And if you're anything like me, you're going to overthink and overthink and overthink, and eventually convince yourself to not execute, to not go through with that idea, to not go through with that plan. You're just going to overthink it and sit on it like me for about a year. The second one, I tell you guys this shit all the fucking time. Do not watch porn. It's in all caps. Do not watch porn. It kills your energy. It numbs your ability to feel. It's a life killer. I completely agree with this one. I tell my boys personally all the time, like, yo, let's go on a no-fap streak. Let's not watch porn. Let's not do this. I don't like to partake too much. And it kills your energy. Not only does it kill your energy, for me personally, it kills my motivation. Because my brain, when I watch porn and then you nut or you get that orgasm, that sensation, whatever it is, your brain is rewarding you for doing nothing. You get that dopamine rush, that instant gratification dopamine rush, which your brain can't tell the difference. So your brain thinks you've accomplished something today, something major, like getting intimacy or getting laid or whatever it is. Your brain thinks you just did that. And so after that, how many of you guys have sex and then afterwards you just get tired? You kind of check out. You're cuddling your girl or whatever and you're like, I'm ready for bed, man. That's the same sensation you have when you jack off. So porn, I think, unmotivates you. I think it makes you, I don't want to say weird, but it does kind of, when I watch too much porn, bro, I start to feel weird. I feel kind of like I'm walking on eggshells when I talk. Like, I feel kind of creepy. I feel kind of just like not myself. And like it says, I don't have the energy to do anything else. I watch porn and afterwards, you think I want to make music? No. You think I want to start a podcast or record a podcast? No. I don't want to do anything productive. I really think it is truly a life killer. And it's so easy. It's one of the biggest ones to get consumed in. I've said that so many times. Now, if you have a problem with it, I think you first have to identify your triggers for it. And for me, that was just social media in general. I would get on Instagram and then you're scrolling through your feed and there's a bunch of little Insta thotties that are posted up in the Bahamas with their fucking culo hanging out and their chichis in the bikini and all this stuff. And then you click on that profile, or you go to your explore page, and your explore page only gives you stuff that you've been looking at. So if you're looking at culo on Instagram all the time and you go to your explore page and it's more culo, the Instagram feed knows that that's what you're here to look at. Sex sells, bro. It's trying to spoon feed you what's going to keep you on the app longer. And then from there, you just get aroused, you get turned on, and whatever. So my recommendation is, if you're following a bunch of Insta thotties that don't even know you exist, bro, that are just a trigger for you, that just turn you on or get you aroused, unfollow those accounts. I never really followed too many of those accounts, and the ones that I did, I don't even follow anymore. I like to have my followings and the people I personally follow is people I've met in person, people I know, people that I've formed actual real relationships with, even if it was just for one time. Like, I still follow a bunch of people I've worked with in the past for acting or jobs. And like, I follow them because at that time you were cool and I really fucked with your vibe. I fucked with you as a person. That's who I like to follow. People that inspire me, people that motivate me, and people I personally know. I don't want to follow some Insta thotty that's there to make money off some sort of sexual perversions or whatever it is. Like, just don't give into that. So if you do follow accounts like that, my first tip and suggestion is unfollow all the Insta baddies, unfollow all the Insta thotties. And the good thing about the internet is, for as much garbage content as there is, there's equally as much positive and beneficial content. Like this stuff that I'm reading to you. It's, in my eyes, in my opinion, positive. It can help you out. So just be careful with the content that you consume when you're on the internet. Number 3, never let anyone get comfortable with disrespecting you. This is a big one. And this, in my opinion, goes out to all you people that are a little too fucking nice. Because when you're too nice, I'm not saying don't be a nice person. Be a nice person, but when someone crosses that boundary of respect, you have to be strict, you have to be fierce, and you can't let anyone cross your boundaries, man. You have to lay down the law eventually. Personally, I have a lot of relationships in my life, mainly from last year, that did not carry over into this year. And that's because major boundaries of respect were crossed from my point of view. And when you disrespect me like that, I don't hold grudges. I'm not like, I fucking hate this person, I want them to die. I don't give a fuck about you. But I move on with my life and forget you even existed. That's how you have to be with certain relationships and certain people that disrespect you. Because to me, I'm always loving, I'm always fun, I'm always charismatic. But when you start to cross the line, or you start to cross a boundary with me, my friends, my family, my career, the things that I care about, you are no longer welcomed to be a part of my life. And I feel like nice people get used and walked on and just fucking abused all the time, and they never see it. They're always like, oh, you know, like, my life is so hard, and it's because you're letting people treat you like dog water. For example, and this is an example in my life, well, not really my life, but one of my friends is also working horror nights, and horror nights is like a strict Thursday through Sunday schedule. It's long hours, so you don't really have time to work anything else during those days. And so she put in her availability at her day job 2 months in advance. Hey, I can't work Thursday through Sunday, but I can work Monday through Wednesday, whatever. It gets approved. Her new work schedule, or her new availability gets approved. And then when it comes around to Halloween Horror Nights, they're like, oh, hey, like 3 of our people just quit, so we need you to like work these days. I know it got approved in your availability, but we need you to work these days. So they scheduled her Thursday through Sunday in the morning, and then she had to go to Horror Nights and do all this stuff. That's being taken advantage of, whether it's by your friends or your job. Jobs love to do this, but that's being taken advantage of. That's being too nice. I told her, I was like, you already got that availability confirmed that you can't work those days. Tell them to fuck off. Just because 3 other people quit doesn't mean that you are entitled now to pick up the slack of those people. Hire more people. You're a mega conglomerate fucking business. Just hire more people. It's not my fault. It's not my fault they quit. And I don't have to pick up that slack. I can happily come in Monday through Wednesday when I told you I could. But these other days, forget about it. Do not let people disrespect you, whether it's a job, a friend, a family member, whatever, because when they do, you have to be strong enough to cut out that toxic energy and not allow that shit in your life, man. Let's move on to number 4. Be selfish with your time. A lot of people don't deserve it. And this is facts. I think to be successful, you absolutely have to be selfish with your time, because your time is your most valuable resource and your most valuable asset. I had to drink a little bit of that licuado de muerte because your boy's parched, but your time is absolutely the most valuable thing you have. Your time, if used properly, can lead to a spike of income, can lead to a happier lifestyle, can lead to a career that's fulfilling, that you want to do. But if you are just giving your time out to anybody, or you're wasting your time on social media, you're wasting your time with friends that don't really bring you up, or friends that only want to, in my example, back in the day, I would have friends that would hit me up and I would always say yes. You have to stop being a yes man to all the plans that are presented to you. I know a lot of you feel like it's MIA, or not MIA, you got FOMO, like fear of missing out. You have to get over that, because a lot of the times your friends are going to invite you out and they're just going to drink, or they're just going to be doing drugs, or they're just going to want to go to the club and just waste a night out. When that's a night, in my example, like yesterday I went out and it was fun, don't get me wrong, but I knew I had so much shit to do. I had to record this podcast. I had to edit this podcast. I wanted to go to the gym. I wanted to do a lot, but I woke up late as hell. And then when I woke up, I had agreed to these plans. So then I went out. But it's like, I'm never going to get that time back. And now I'm crunching to whip out this podcast, which is still going to come out, because I've told myself the podcast is not something that you dilly-dally with. It's not, oh, sometimes I release a podcast. You release a podcast to build that work ethic, to build that consistency, to build that. This is not something I give up on. And if you are always giving out your time, when do you have time for yourself? When do you have time to create the life and manifest the things that you want to do? It goes back to number 1. Ideas mean nothing. Execution is really where it's at. But if you don't even have the time to execute the things you want to do, because you're giving out your time so freely to all these things that do not serve you, you're playing yourself. Ooh, bars. Number 5, share your progress, not your goals, and you'll always be motivated. This is a big one, and this is one that I kind of like to do a lot. I like to share my progress and not my goals, obviously. I am kind of, superstitious, where I feel like if I have something in the works, I don't like to talk about it until it is 100% solidified and coming into fruition, like actually happening. For example, if I get put on a veil for a job, which basically means they're thinking about booking me for a commercial or a modeling gig or whatever it is, I don't like to tell anyone. Sometimes I will, and most of the times I find when I do, it doesn't happen. But when I just keep it to myself, I don't tell my family, I don't tell my girl, I don't tell anyone. I don't tell anyone until it's 100% solidified. It usually ends up happening. And then I like to talk about it, because then I feel accomplished. Then I know that what I'm talking about is true, and I'm not giving out false hope and false ideas and just saying I'm going to do things. I'm actually doing things and taking action. And so when I do decide to share my progress, if you go through my Instagram, it's commercials I've actually been in. It's commercials that I've actually aired. It's print jobs that are actually out there. My most recent one was the Frugal. It hasn't come out, but if you go on my page, you can see that's kind of like my resume. My Instagram is like my resume of accomplishments, even when my music comes out, bro. I dropped a song once that got reposted by the Chainsmokers, and I posted that because that is progress. That's not, oh, I want to release this song and hope that it gets played out, and I'm gonna go tell everyone like, yeah, I got this banger coming and it's really fire and it's gonna be amazing. It's don't tell me, show me. Don't tell me, show me. Drake has this amazing bar, bro, in Over the Top. It's a song called Over the Top with Smiley, and I have it in my photos. I screenshotted it. I'll throw it up for you guys. He has a bar that says, Nike don't pay me to tell you just do it. They pay me to show you I do it again. I'm not telling you. I'm showing you. I'm not telling you all the things I want to do. I'm showing you the things I'm doing. That's such a fucking bar. And Coco has lived by that saying for a long time, bro. Coco would always say, don't tell me, show me. Don't tell me, show me. And that's number 5, share your progress, not your goals, is pretty much in layman's terms, don't tell me, show me. Number 6, every second you spend comparing your life to someone else's is a second spent wasting yours. So stop comparing and create your own definition of success. This one's huge, bro. This one's huge. Damn, we already hit intermission and we barely scratched the surface. I might have to break this up into 2 podcasts if I don't finish in part 2 of the intermission, but you know how this show goes. I'm gonna go ahead, hit a brief intermission, and we'll get back to it. Yo, we're back. Drinking the licuado of death. Okay, bye, Negro. I love you. Negro clocked out, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. He was on the clock for 30 whole minutes. I'm proud of him. Wow. That's progress. He's making progress. Number 5, share your progress, not your goals. He just showed to you all that he's progressing by staying on set for as long as he needs to. But anyways, number 6 is every second you spend comparing your life to someone else's is a second spent wasting yours. I truly agree. And in the day and age that we live in with social media and everything, I feel like I've briefly touched on this topic. It's so easy to compare yourself and your life to someone else that you see online. You see other people and they're working these crazy jobs, or they're playing these shows, or they're traveling all over the world. And you kind of look at your life and you're like, I'm not doing anything this extravagant or anything this lavish. What's wrong with me? Should I be doing something? And in a way, it should, kind of motivate you to work harder. But also, if you sit there and dwell on that idea that you are not good enough or that your life is not as amazing as this person's, you're never going to actually take the action to make your life that amazing, or to work hard, or to reach your level of success, whatever success means to you. It's so easy to compare yourself to people on social media. For me personally, I always see someone else's physique or someone else's fitness goals, and I'm like, damn, I want to reach that. And I don't realize that this person has been in the gym grinding their nuts off for 6 to 10 years, 5 to 10 years, whatever it may be. Or this person is on a massive amount of steroids, on a massive amount of performance enhancing drugs, and it's fake. And that's another thing we don't realize. A lot of what is presented to us on social media is fake. It's absolutely fake. It's not reality. It's kind of like porn. Yeah, it's 2 actors going at it, but a lot of porn is not how the bedroom works. It's fake. It's kind of like Hollywood. It is exaggerated for entertainment purposes, and that's no different with social media. So stop comparing yourself to these unrealistic standards and start pushing yourself to achieve these unrealistic standards. 7, and this is one of my favorites. This is one of the corniest ones on here, but one of my favorites. Smile often and smile so much that others think you exist in a world of optimism and positivity, because you do. Because you do. I smile all the fucking time, bro. It's a big part of my personality and a big thing that people recognize about me. They always say, you have a nice smile, or you have a big smile. I'm always smiling. Every time you see me, you look at me, we make eye contact. I crack a massive smile at you. When I see you, hey, what's up? I dap you up. I'm super smiley. I'm super cheesy. And I don't always feel like that. I don't always feel happy. I don't always feel amazing and like the world is sunshine and rainbows. But just smiling can change someone's day, can change someone's attitude, can make someone's day. You don't even know what people are going through. Just smiling at someone can make them feel a little bit better inside. And it's going to make you feel better, because when you make other people feel better, it makes you feel better. That is the symptom of being nice and being a positive being is you share a little bit of light. And when other people feel that, it brightens yours and it makes you feel better. So be positive and smile at people. It's the easiest thing you can do. 8, you grow rich when you seek new experiences, not material things. This one's better. And I think Expedia has a commercial out right now. I'll try to find it and throw it up.
Do you think any of us will look back in our lives and regret the things we didn't buy? Or the places we didn't go?
But basically it says in the Expedia commercial, it's like, people don't remember all the stuff they bought. They remember the experiences and the places they went. And I think that's such smart advertising because it hits on your emotional strings. It hits the heartstrings. When you die, you can't take any of the shit that you bought or that you have with you. But when you're there on your deathbed, you're going to remember all the things you experienced, all the moments that you had, the feelings shared, the emotions, the experiences, the things that you created. That's the stuff that really carries weight and is the real wealth. It's not, oh, I have all this money, let me buy all this stuff. That's cool. But what do they say? Money doesn't make you happy. Money makes you comfortable. Money can buy comfort. Money can make life easier, but money does not make you happy. It's the relationships you have, the things you experience, the comfort zones that you push yourself out of, and all the life that you surround yourself with is truly the wealth that's going to make you happy. I like to travel, man. I haven't traveled in a while, but I've been to Europe. You know, I've gone to all around Mexico because I have family that lives around there. I've been in a couple parts here in the U.S. I've seen a lot of the world, man. And these are experiences that I wouldn't trade for the world. I wouldn't trade for anything because I learned so much. And that's another thing. You learn through experience, not from, I mean, you can learn from sitting there and reading and stuff, but it's like I said earlier, reading only gets you so far. It's implementing where you actually learn as you go along and taking action that you're going to learn. So you grow rich when you seek new experiences, not material things. 9, learn to say no. Respect your time and energy. Don't be so nice that you're a yes man. Dude, I literally said this earlier. Don't be so nice that you're a yes man, that you yes man yourself into not having space or time for yourself. Space or time for yourself is everything, bro. There's days where I don't talk to nobody because I'm in here. I'm in the fungin. I'm in my room, resting up, meditating, reading. The other day I woke up and I felt fucking insane. I felt crazy. And I said, what do I have to do to make sure that I feel right now? That I feel okay? And so I sat down, I meditated for 20 minutes. I felt better. I went outside, I drank some water. Something as simple as drinking water can make you feel better because you're made up of water, bro. I came back and I was like, I want to read for a little bit. I opened up a book and I sat here for like 10, 15 minutes, not even that long, but I read a little bit. And then I was like, I feel better. I feel better. You have to take care of yourself, man. And when, like I said, when you're freely giving your time out to anything and anyone, you're never going to completely feel okay because you are not taking care of the most important person that matters, and that's yourself. That's not a selfish thing to say or do. You are the most important thing that matters in your life. And if you are not okay, then the circumstances in the life you build around you is not going to feel up to par or be okay. So learn to say no. If you're too nice, learn to say no. Kind of how I was talking with my friend that they were going against her availability. Learn to say no. It's that simple. Hey, we scheduled you these days. Hey, that's outside of my availability. No. No is such a powerful word that a lot of people don't hear too often. So when they do, they get upset. And I think that's why a lot of people are afraid to say no because they don't want to upset anyone because they're too nice. That shows that you're stern. That shows that you are a person of your word. That shows that you can be held accountable and that you value your time and yourself and the things that are important to you. Learn to say no. It's a powerful word. Number 10, there's a difference between being patient and wasting your time. There's a difference between being patient and wasting your time. This one's kind of one that boggles my head a little bit, but it's very true. Patience is a virtue, and being patient can get you so far, but there's a fine line between being patient and wasting your time. For example, when my laptop broke and I couldn't do this podcast, I was patiently waiting to get my laptop back, to get my car, because I didn't have a car either, to do all this stuff so I can work on the podcast, work on music, work on all this stuff. So in a way, I was being patient to start pursuing my endeavors again. But then once my laptop got here, I was kind of like dug a little too deep into being lazy, or I got so accustomed to not doing the podcast and not putting myself through the ringer to release this content or do whatever, that I finally had everything I needed. I had my car, I had my laptop, new hard drive, all the dongles and dingles and dangles that I needed to start this shit up again. And at a certain point, the patience turned into wasting my time because I wasn't doing the stuff that I had to do. So I was patient, but once I got what I needed, I was wasting my time because I wasn't doing the stuff I knew I had to do. And this can be relatable for a lot of you. Be patient for the opportunities that you want, but when the opportunities are presented or they're just out of reach, you have to push yourself and go out of your way to make sure that they happen instead of sitting back. Because patience can turn to just sitting around doing nothing. You still have to pounce, you still have to tackle, and you still have to go full force at these opportunities, man. So that one kind of boggled my head for a little bit, but I completely understand it. 11, you spend your entire life inside of your head. Make it a nice place to be. Oh my God. This is kind of like the whole theme of this podcast in general, because this is a self-improvement / mental health podcast. And I always tell you guys, meditate, meditate, meditate. It is single-handedly the best thing that I've implemented into my life to make sure that I'm not a loony bin. I'm not a fucking crazy person. I'm not going around frustrated and angry or insecure or fucked up all day in the head because you spend 100% of your time up here in your head. Make it a nice place to be. That resonates with me so tough. And I've, like I said, meditation, gratitude journaling, staying positive. Instead of being a pessimistic glass half empty type of person, be an optimistic glass half full type of person. Always, always, always try to remain optimistic about circumstances. Remain optimistic about your life. I know it's very easy to bring yourself down, or I know life can throw fucking haymakers and Hail Marys at you, and it can throw situations, but that's just life. It's ups and downs, but in the downs, you have to be the strongest. It's peaks and valleys, but when you're in the valley, you have to be the strongest and know that you will work your way out of any situation. And that can be implemented by just taking care of your mental health. And one of the best ways to take care of your mental health, like I said, is meditation, but also taking care of your physical health. Because when you physically feel fine, mentally, it's going to make you mentally feel better. It's the 3 pillars of holistic self-improvement, which is your mind, your body, and your soul, your spirit. Those are the 3 things that make you, you. And you have to make sure that all those things are in check. And your mental health is a big one. If you're feeling depressed, or if you are feeling anxious, or you're feeling crazy, or whatever it is, do everything in your power that you can to take care of it. And it's one of those things where you need the willpower to actually do it. It's one of those things where you can't just say, I'm going to work on my mental health, and you never work on your mental health. You have to execute. It's uncomfortable, but it's supposed to be uncomfortable because you are healing. You are making yourself better. And if you need to reach out to someone, if it's gotten to that point, don't hesitate to reach out to anybody, bro. Don't hesitate to reach out to a friend, a family member, a loved one. Or if you're too insecure, too afraid to reach out to these people, there's hotlines, there's emotional support, hotlines, and it's not the word I'm looking for, but resources. There's so many resources out there for you. If I can find any, I'll go ahead and throw them up right now, man. Don't be afraid to ask for help, especially when it comes to your mental health, because that's the biggest thing. Your life is only going to get better, and you're only going to love harder and really see life full of colors instead of black and white when you focus on your mental health. So make it a nice place to be, the inside of your mind. Number 12, in today's digital first world, the greatest skill you can leverage is the power of focused attention. And the way to build it is through daily meditation. What have I been telling you guys since day one of this podcast? Meditate daily, meditate daily, meditate daily. Because like it said, in today's digital first world, it is so easy. Everything is begging and grasping and asking for your attention nowadays. And most of that content is shit. Most of that content is not going to get you anywhere. It's fucking TikTok. It's fucking Instagram. Like I said, it's culo on Instagram and bitches in bikinis and all this bullshit. Everything is begging for your attention. How do you not give into that? How do you stay present? How do you directly appoint your focus to the things and the tasks that you need to do throughout the day? Daily meditation. It makes you present. It brings you into the present moment, and it helps your mind, all cluttered and crazy, all the thoughts and all the instant gratification, all this bullshit, slowly clears it out until it's you. You're present, and you can say, hey, I need to direct this attention to XYZ. I need to direct this attention to whatever it is. And even though I meditate, I still fall guilty to this all the time, bro. I still fall guilty of this all the time. I have the attention span of a squirrel. I think we all do, but it's something we all need to work on because that's the day we're living in. Everything is begging for your attention. Where are you going to put it? And how much of an attention span do you have? And once you, oh my God. Sorry, technical difficulties. I have two rambunctious cat children that just almost knocked the whole camera. Oh, and they're going at it again. Almost knocked the whole camera over. That would have been an L, bro. This nice ass camera just fucking shattered on the floor because my cat children are playing tag, freeze tag behind me. This is incredible. But as I was saying, where was I? Everything is begging for your attention nowadays, bro. Everything is begging for your attention. Where are you going to focus that attention? Where are you going to focus that energy? I might actually break this up. There's a few more in here, but I might break it up for next week's podcast, and we can break this down and consume this in bite-sized content and pieces. I don't want to just throw this on you all at once. I'll go ahead and throw up the post or throw up the account that posted it so you guys can go ahead and go through it yourselves if you want to read it or do whatever. But those are kind of just the nuggets for today, man. I know they're not my words directly, but it's stuff that I've been implementing into my life for about a year now. And I wanted to talk about this because it's stuff that I've been doing that I've been seeing real results for. For once, I can look in the mirror and say, I'm in love with the person I am. I have a lot of love for myself. I have a lot of gratitude for the people I still have around in my life that I've allowed to be a part of my life. The people that support me, the people that love me, not the people that are slandering my name or the people that want to bring me down or preying on my downfall. I had friends. I had people like that in my life. I cut them out. And when I cut them out and started focusing on myself and the things I wanted to do, I can look in the mirror and say, I love you. I can look in the mirror and be proud of the body I've crafted. I can sit down and be proud of my work. I can be proud of this podcast. I know I haven't released a lot of music, but the music I have released, I'm fucking proud of that shit. I know that shit slaps. It's fulfilling. It makes me feel better. All the commercials I've booked, I can say, I put in the work and crafted that and did that. And yes, I had the support and the love and the trust and belief from my agents. And I love them for that, him for that, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, I have to be the one to put myself out there and go through that. I've created a life that I love to live. And because of that, I'm reaping the rewards now. I feel fulfilled. I feel happy. I've got a pretty consistent flow of income now with Horror Nights too. But before that, I was collecting a good amount of money in checks and stuff just from acting jobs that I've booked. 10-year-old me would be freaking out. 10-year-old me, little me, always grew up and said, I want to be an actor. That's why I moved to LA. I want to be in movies and I want to do all this stuff. And like I said, I'm not there yet, but I'm happy and content with how far I've made it. I'm not satisfied. I'm going to work harder to get there. Yeah, fuck around, catch me in a Netflix original in a year or two. Catch me on TV, catch me on something. But for now, I'm making money doing the thing I wanted to do as a little kid. 10-year-old me would be proud of the person I am today. Is 10-year-old you proud of the person you are today? If not, that's okay, because you can always change it. You can't change a fucking thing about your past, but you can do everything in your power to change the present day and the future you're heading into. Make 10-year-old you proud of the person you are today. Picture the child you, and then picture the person you are today. Would childhood you be comfortable or be pretty much content with the person you are today, comfortable being around you today? And if not, you can still change that, man. Live a life that is satisfying. Live a life full of love. Live a life full of experiences, because one of them was in there. Experiences make you richer. And just continue to be the best version of yourself that you can be. Present the best version of yourself at all times. And it's not all sunshine and rainbows. This life shit is hard, man. This life shit is hard, but if you are here, that means you are strong enough to push through it and to persevere. And I believe in you. You have so many people that believe in you. And that's why we tune into this podcast weekly, is to become better people, man. So I'm going to pick up this topic next week, that same post. But for now, I think I've talked your ear off enough. As always, man, I'm sending love and positive energy your way. I'm your floral father. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of La Frequencia, featuring me, Floral Frequency, and Negrito Baby, who's somewhere off camera. But if you enjoyed this content, send it to a friend. If it resonated with you, let me know by hitting that like button, bro. Homicide the like button. Teabag that fucking bell notification and subscribe to the channel. It shows me that this content is doing something in the world and that you guys resonate with it. And just helps your boy out with the algorithm and everything. So, I love you guys. Enjoy your week. I'll see you next week. Get a lot of rest. I'll stop talking now. Bye.